You are now entering the Thick Goddess Energy Morning Show. We in the building. High priestess in the building, didn't let my fears kill me. Transmuted my pain in that cleanse in the rain. Found out I was working and I conquered my demons. I accepted my purpose and the goddess I became. Good morning. Good morning. I know you guys have missed me all week. You guys have told me all week that you missed me, but you can still listen to my beautiful voice every morning if you go over to Spotify and Anchor, where the morning show is being transitioned. I have prepared you guys. I told you guys for months, for months and months and months and months, that we were going to be transferring over to the podcast. Okay. So you just got to deal with it. So good morning. This is your Thick Goddess Energy morning show. I probably will do Fridays only for the next few weeks, just to kind of get you guys to understand to go to the podcast. I started the morning show here on Facebook and YouTube because that was the platform to kind of test it out, to see if we could bring real ass conversation that sparked your mind and raised your consciousness. And I think we did that. We did that after 100 episodes. You know, it was like, damn, it's time for the podcast. So I made that executive decision, you guys, to start it this week. So I'm hoping that you guys are going over there. If you don't know where to go, the link is in the description to Anchor or Spotify. That's where you can watch. Listen. It's listening, right? So you can't watch me over there, but you can listen. And I will be doing the same thing as bringing some real ask conversations as well as interviews to the podcast, because I still want to continue to do that. But so vibing over here is going to be a little bit different. I will still come over here and vibe. I'm trying to work through some different ways to vibe with the group as well as my pages. Good morning, Tiffany. Good morning, Evelyn. Good morning, Betty. One of the things I want you guys to realize is that the name, the Divine Moon Goddess page, is going to be changing. Okay. I'm going to be changing to the Thick Goddess Energy, and I'm letting you guys know. So once I change it, you're not like in my inbox that I'm a scammer. Okay. So the name is going to change on this page. Divine Moon Goddess Healers and Readings is not going to change because that's an official business. That's a actual business. That's my business. That's my website. It's legal. Okay. So that page is not going to change if you're over there on that page, supporting that page. And I think we're almost at 1,000 followers on that page, which thank you guys so much for following that page and just being supporters of everything that I fucking do. Right. The Soul Tribe group is not going to change. So if you're over there representing in the group, the Soul Tribe Healers and Readings group is not changing. And you guys already know on my my YouTube channel's already changed to Thick Goddess Energy and Inspiration. So I'm going to be switching my Facebook page over to Thick Goddess Energy and Inspiration. Okay. So just know, why is Spirit in my ear today? What the hell is going on? Spirit's all in my ear right now for some reason. So good morning, Jamaica. So just know there's some changes. I've been talking about these changes for a while, right? And again, I know that people love the morning show over here. You guys love to interact with me, but it's podcast time, you know. Gotta keep it. We gotta keep it evolving. You know, we gotta keep it pushing. Gotta keep it evolving. So let me know if you have listened over there at the podcast. As soon as I get like 50 people I don't know if you have to subscribe or just watch, but then I get to open up ads over there, which is pretty cool. So get over there. Get over there and listen and start supporting the podcast. And I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for going over there. So this morning, it's really, I'm going to talk to you guys about a couple things. I most likely will take a part of this show and maybe put it on there. I don't know. Who fucking knows? I don't know. We'll see. But If you have not, remember, the morning shows are brought to you by Divine Moon Goddess Healers and Readings.com, where your questions get answered. And that is my website. You can book me for in-depth readings or healings. Remember, I do short. They're like mini healing sessions within like a 30 to 45 minute guided meditation, which is profound. You can get a lot of shit during that, but you got to go and book. You got to go book and do the sessions. Definitely do your one-on-ones with me if you need some clarity, things like that. You guys know I don't do all the spying shit that a lot of people do. I will try to get you clarity as best as I can, but I do have a code of ethics. So just remember that there's some shit I probably will not answer for you, especially if spirit is urging me not to. Um, I do have a shop over there, although I don't have all of my products on the shop. It's just always too much fucking work. So remember to not miss my crystal lives. I will be going live a little bit more and doing sales every other day, or how I do it. So the prices and all that probably won't change as much as they used to, because that's a lot of work too. Oh, you had that podcast today, right? That podcast was real today. If you listen to the one that aired this morning, and it does air at 7 a.m. Because it's a morning show, right? So it airs at 7 a.m. So if you listen to that one, you were just like, damn, yeah, that was some real shit. Good morning, Babs. You got news from me. You listen to my podcast. Yeah, I'm gonna be talking about my podcast for like ever. Just know that, you guys. Rate it. Yep. So it will show up for other people. The more you guys rate my podcast, the more people will find me. And that was the thing. That was the thing, because if you guys remember, I was telling you guys that on Facebook and YouTube, us astrologer tarot readers are getting blacklisted, right? Blacklisted. So we're not really coming up in the searches. You can't really find us unless someone shares you out. And that's why I'm very adamant about you guys sharing out. Because we're not really being out there. They're kind of like they're trying to take our voice away. So that's definitely why I switched to also the podcast, to get more people also to hear us and listen to us and get this beautiful information that Spirit is always using me to deliver, right? Uh-huh, uh-huh. You said, be careful what you wish for. You got a roommate, Virgo. Well, that's true. They always say that. Be careful what you wish for. What are you really wishing for, right? Um, that maybe that should be our show today. A couple other things. This morning show is also brought to you by Shanti Rentals Inc. If you're ever in the Orlando, Florida area and you need to rent a car, go to Toro. You can find us on there. Probably, yeah, I'll just leave it there with that one. I'm back today because a lot of people didn't get the memo, even though I've been posting the shit out of the podcast all over my page. A lot of people didn't get the memo. So I decided to jump on today and kind of vibe with you guys, talk a little bullshit, and also keep reiterating the importance of going in and just catching the show over there. It's a little bit shorter also. Some of the episodes might get a little bit longer, but it's a little bit shorter. Now I've been trying to keep it within like a 30-minute window instead of like the hour, 2 hour shows, because that gets that's a long. So if I keep it to maybe 30 minutes, I think that might be okay. You're waiting for it to come on Apple. Well, I got to fix the Apple account. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm not an Apple person, so I honestly have to probably try to get my kid to help me. Because I actually don't know what I'm doing, because I don't know. I don't know if I have to go buy like an iPad or something. I don't know. I'm guessing you can just get an account. It let me get an account, but it's asking me to do some other shit. So I have to look into it. So I will have it on Apple soon. But You definitely can go to Anchor and watch it, or Spotify, because someone else had it. They have an Apple account and they downloaded Spotify anyway. So you don't have to wait for Apple. You could get the Spotify, download the app, or Anchor, download the app, and you can listen to it on either of those. So yeah, just we're going, we're changing, we're evolving. What do you mean? What happened, Babs? What happened with what? I actually love Spotify. I've been on Spotify for quite some time now. I want to say at least from 2014. I don't know if I was on it before 2014, but at least 2014, I know I started listening to music on Spotify. So I've been on Spotify for a while. I actually love it. Oh, okay, okay, okay. So yeah, it might be better to be on Spotify and listen to it if that's where you rate it and follow. I wonder why it doesn't do that on Anchor. I'm new to Anchor. I've never been on Anchor. I don't like follow anybody else. um, Spotify is free. You can have a free account if you want to have no ads. You can pay like $10 a month and get no ads. But other than that, you can have a free account. You don't have to pay for Spotify. It's just download it. Yeah. And I used to have an iTunes account like back in the day because if you guys remember, what was that fucking download music? I can't remember what the name of it, but we went from that to like fucking iTunes. And I used to have like a million songs in iTunes until my computer like crashed and shit. And I was sad. Um, Nothing's wrong, just the evolution of Divine Moon Goddess, boo. It's the evolution. I was talking about my morning show for LimeWire. That's it. LimeWire. We used to be downloading every fucking thing on LimeWire. And then we went to iTunes and started paying for shit, right? So we started paying like 99 cents a song. Good morning, Stephanie. No, just the evolution, we got to evolve, I love Facebook. Facebook is one of the platforms that's really helped me grow my career. If you guys didn't know, Facebook is one of the platforms that helped me grow my career. And so I'm very thankful to Facebook, although I can't stand the scammers on Facebook. Um, you know what? I did used to listen on Pandora for a while also. I think more so at work because Pandora, you could get like the clean versions more. And so I did used to listen to Pandora. I forgot about Pandora. It was before Spotify. Yeah, yeah. Pandora was there also because I did have Pandora account. Yeah. So you could get it free. You don't have to pay for Spotify. You could get it for free, but you definitely can pay like $10 a month and not have no ads. Um I have been back, I've been tired. I've been getting me some sleep. I've been exhausted. I've been in a cranky mood this week. I don't know if it's the energy. And you guys know when I'm cranky, it's just like, yeah, I'm not going to be live. Hey, Divergent. So, Divergent, I switched over to the podcast, boo. The morning show is now going to be Monday through Friday on Spotify and Anchor. So the link to the first episodes are in the description. You could click on those and go, and then you can listen to the rest of them because there's one that dropped since Tuesday. So there's 4 episodes that should be on there. Oh, if you're new to Spotify, you can do a free trial with no ads. I will tell you it's better with no ads. If you spend $10 a month on Spotify, the reason why I used to pay for it was because you also can make playlists and you get more access to songs and you don't have the ads. But if you don't care about all of that, then you still can, I think, make your playlist and shit like that. Right, right, right. So yeah, so I've caught up on a lot of sleep this week. and just regrouping. Like I said, evolution is always going to happen, and we have to evolve and grow. We can't be doing the same shit. So on this, let's talk about it. Whenever you're in, especially like me, I'm a creature who needs change at some point. I need to feel like I'm moving forward, and if I start to feel like I'm not moving forward, then that's a problem for me. If I start to feel like I'm stuck, that's a problem for me. So I have to be in this energy where I feel like I'm expressing myself and I'm moving forward and I'm getting and knocking out my goals. But as soon as I start feeling stagnant, I can't stay there. So, like I said, we talked about going to the podcast for a long time, a lot of hours, a lot of months we talked about it. So it was boom, it was just ready. It's time to switch over and get a new audience also to come and listen. And I know it's different watching me and vibing with me on Facebook, but it's still listening to the content, still getting the message and still sharing it out for others to hear, right? We'll still do our shit over here. I'm still going to come on live. And do cards and readings and stuff like that because that's my thing too. I'm still going to do that. I might do it a little bit more because um, doing the morning show a little bit different now. It's actually opened up a little bit more time for me to vibe in some ways. So yeah, I do. I kind of do too much and burn out, and then I take a break, and then I come back. I'm overdue for a vacation. So I'm overdue to take like a whole fucking vacation off, which I'm not taking a vacation until June. I got things to do this year, so I'm knocking shit out. So I'm actually not taking a vacation until June, which sucks because I know I'm gonna have a couple more burnout burnout moments. Yeah. Well, we have a shift. Let me just talk about a little bit of astrology real quick. But yeah, you guys got to evolve. Remember that. Allow yourself to keep evolving, keep growing, keep changing, especially if you're feeling stagnant. Um, you guys know we're still in the season of Aries, so we'll talk about a little bit of astrology real quick, where the planets are kind of aligned right now. This is the season of Aries, and we have the Sun in Aries. We also have Jupiter and Neptune, and everybody's been talking about the Jupiter and Neptune conjunction. Um, it is a very powerful energy because Aries is about self. Aries is about who you are in your energy. It's the house that rules you, self. So right now you're being hit to kind of look within, look at yourself. How are you showing up, not just for the world and the collective and your purpose, but how are you showing up for you? Um, with Jupiter in there, Jupiter is a beautiful planet that likes to expand things, but it also can expand the negative. So it just expands. It expands and it wants to give you more. So if you're in a fucked up energy, guess what? You're getting more of that fucked up energy. If you're in a good energy, then guess what? You're going to get more of that good energy. It like Jupiter doesn't see that. Jupiter just wants to give. So, Jupiter and Neptune and Aries is all about what are you giving to self? Not to be selfish, but you do have to think about yourself. You do have to make yourself a priority, right? Um, the full moon is the 16th. I don't know who's saying, well, depending on where you're at, though. Depending on where you're at. I have it down as the 16th, I believe. Um, I'm just going to pull that up real quick. What is this? April? So also Neptune is about dreams. It's about fantasy also. So you have to be kind of careful about what are you doing? What are you putting things in motion that are realistic, that are true that you can succeed, or are you setting yourself up for failure? Yeah, I have it the 16th. So I don't know where you are or where yours will be, but Mm-mm-mm-mm. Oh, tomorrow is the 16th. What day am I on? What day am I on? I need to go and scratch my calendar off because apparently I don't know where I am. Yeah. So it is a full moon in Libra. What the fuck day am I on? I don't know. I will tell you that this full moon also, because it's Libra, you got to think of the karmic energy about it also, the balance of your energy. Remember, if we're focusing on us, you got to look at your own energy. Good morning, Kathy. So just looking at where the placements and the astrologers go in on their 90 degrees, 50 degrees of where the planets are at. I'm not there yet, y'all. I am not there yet. That's above my pay grade. But from what I'm looking at, um, really look and focus on the things that you're doing, the contracts that you've made. And this is also your karmic contracts in this life. Have you paid? Have you learned the lesson? Have you grown from the situations? But also create the dreams that you have. You can make them real, but you got to take actual steps. Like you can't just be dreaming of, oh, I want to be a millionaire, but your ass is sitting on a fucking couch every day. It's just not going to happen, right? So you got to be realistic and remember the energy is not against you. It's actually for you right now with these beautiful planets in Aries, which is all empowering self. Um, just kind of looking at the other planets of where they're at, you got Taurus in the house of Taurus, which is the house of everything that we own. So Taurus rules that money house, your finances, your credit, your debit, your income, your inheritance, cars, home, everything that you own, that's Taurus house. It's the material wealth, but it's also what you value. So, what do you value? You have Uranus in there and you have Mercury. So, most of your minds are going to be on your either what you value at this time or it's going to be on where am I? And I know this week I was looking at my life in a way of where am I at? Like have I gotten to some of these points? And then I started looking like where I'm living in my home and what I own and what am I leaving when I pass. So some of the thoughts may be going through your mind like, damn, am I where I need to be? And if not, what do I need to shift? What do I need to shift to grow? What do I need to shift to move forward? And so some of your thoughts could be in that way as well. So there could be a lot of energy going to that part of your life and thinking of your values. Your values could be changing. Again, we're self now. We're into self. So your values could be changing right now. And it's okay. So a lot of this, Uranus is a planet of being the individual, standing out, not being a sheep in the crowd. So this is really like taking your values, your belief systems, and separating yourself. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to have the same values and beliefs as someone else, but it's really defining who you are and what it is that you want. Okay. Um, the other part of where a lot of the planets are they're in Pisces. And we know that Pisces is a very, very, it's a crazy sign, whereas you can get lost in Pisces. Okay. You got Saturn that's in Pisces, you got Mars and Venus. Mars and Venus are the masculine and feminine energy. Okay. Venus, that's why they say women are from Venus, men are from Mars. You got those two energies that are there with Saturn. There's a lot of karmic lessons coming up that are going to be triggered for a lot of you, especially when it has to do with masculine and feminine. Okay. So if you and your partners are getting triggered right now, well, that's why. Pisces is also a sign of secrets and things that you don't see. So a lot of stuff that's from the subconscious or from the deeper part to the soul, right, is coming up right now. Because we're having a full moon in Libra, that's all karmic energy for me. Saturn is the Lord of karma. All right. So right now we're being dished a lot of karmic kind of lessons, a lot of karmic energy. And it's not a bad thing. Karma's not bad, depending on what you owe, of course. But karma is just lessons. So what is it that you still need to learn that you haven't seen, that you haven't paid attention to? What is it that you still need to see? Like, it's like, do we have to repeat the same shit? Spirit's like, hello, are we repeating the same shit? Are we doing the same lessons that you had to learn last year in 2021? Or are you on new lessons? So you got to kind of look at that as a whole. I know a lot of people get stuck on just the full moon, so they'll just focus on that Libra full moon, but you got to look at it as a whole, the whole picture in front of you. You got to look at, okay? So because of where Saturn is stationed and that Mars and Venus, that is feminine and masculine energy that are really getting this like kind of deep, dark look at shit. Okay. This is also about you getting out of the fantasy of what we get lost in the hope. We get lost in the dream of what could be, especially in relationships. Don't do that. Be realistic of what is in front of you. What is your relationship? Whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's ugly, be very honest with yourself of where you're at in your relationships right now. And the other part of where um, the planet is Aquarius has Pluto, and Pluto is a destroyer planet. It's not just to be an asshole, but it's a planet to destroy and wake you up. And Aquarius is also the sign of not only the collective but the individual. Okay, so if Pluto is still sitting in Aquarius, which is about the individual, we have all these planets that are in Aries, which is about self. Okay. We have these planets that are in Taurus, which is what we own and what we value. You can see how your life is being shaken up right now. You can see how you're being pushed to think different, to do different, to see different. Um, and then all with the planets in Pisces, which is don't get lost in your dreams. Don't get lost in the fantasy or the illusion. Okay. And Pisces, if you're a Pisces or you have Pisces in your chart, you're getting hit right now with this energy, especially with Saturn. Saturn doesn't fucking play. Saturn is not a nice planet. It's a malefic planet. So Saturn is not your, Saturn is like, you will learn today. You will fucking learn today. Saturn is not about that life. And Jupiter is the old like, I want to give you some love and I just want to take care of you. That's not Saturn. Okay. So Pisces, I'm just going to send y'all love and light right now because you're getting hit. In Saturn, whatever you owe, guess what? Saturn's here to collect. Saturn's here to collect. And the thing about Pisces energy is that you don't see it coming because it's out of sight, out of mind. It's something that you didn't see. So I don't know. I don't know. Pluto might be. Yeah. And we know that Pisces can be a depressive energy. We know it's a very dark energy. It's not that all Pisces are bad. It's just you're naturally a darker energy. So you can go into this like depressive state. For Pisces, it's normal. For other people, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But this can be a time of getting into these modes. But again, you got the force of Saturn here. So it's for you guys to look at what needs to be fixed, what needs to be transformed, what can we do better in our relationships, especially in our relationships with Venus and Mars in Pisces. So don't get caught on the fantasy of where you think you are in your relationship. Get into the reality of where it is and what needs to be strengthened and what needs to be, worked on. Okay. I just talked about like that Aries placement. Aries has a lot of planets in there, but Aries is about self. So when I'm looking at where the planets are at, I'm talking about the houses, not sun signs. I just said, if you are Aries though, you probably are getting hit a lot harder than other people because you got the sun in your house and you got Jupiter and Neptune. But again, those aren't bad planets. And Neptune is not a bad or a good planet. It just is. But Neptune is a planet of fantasy. It's a planet of poetry. It's a planet of romanticism. So you could get lost in that shit. You could get lost really quickly. It's like running into the Notebook movie and all of a sudden 2 hours pass by. We all have houses in our chart, you guys. So we're doing a little astrology this morning. We all have houses in our chart. You guys have all 12 houses in your chart. Just because you're a sun, whatever the fuck, doesn't matter. Okay. You all have these houses. So it affects you anyway. Even if you're not an Aries, you're still going to be affected by self. Okay. And even if you're not a Pisces, you're still going to be affected on a subconscious level because Pisces rules the house of the subconscious and what you don't see, and the secrets, things that are out of sight, out of mind. So even if no matter what you are, you still get hit with the energy because you have it in your chart. Just like Aquarius, even if you don't have Aquarius in your chart, Aquarius rules the 11th house, which is the house of friends, the collective, and how we show up as an individual, our inventions, our ideas. So each zodiac rules a house and a placement. Yeah. And we don't get taught this stuff. The only thing we get taught is the bullshit sun sign. And I'm not gonna say bullshit sun sign because the sun sign is huge, but that's all we get taught. No one ever teaches us about the houses, to pay attention to where the planets are, how the planets when they're in each sign. And then people just talk about the full moon. Oh, it's a full moon in Libra. Well, what about the rest of the shit that's going on? Because if you look at the rest of the planets, you're like, oh shit, this is hitting me on a cosmic level, the big picture. I like to look at things at the bigger picture versus just the immediate energy, because you're not just getting influenced by that full moon in Libra. You're getting influenced by all the planets right now and where they're stationed. And so when you're looking at that as a whole, you can kind of prepare. So right now we're going through a makeover of some sort. I know I am. I've been going through it this week in just kind of looking at revamping myself in so many ways and just making these changes that I need to make, that I've been wanting to make, just haven't made them. And so this week I've been in this mode like, nope, got to change, got to do this, got to do that, and even where I'm like, okay, now this is a time I have more time. Now I'm going to get back into my exercising. So it's just right now, it's kind of like we're under this individual makeover of sorts. Yeah, I know sometimes it gets a little confusing. If you scroll past the chart part, the graph, and you go down and read it, you should be able to read like what it is. Yeah. And a lot of people could be coming from that depression because we were in Pisces season, and Pisces season, of course, was a darker time. And so now we're in this energy of Aries, which is like pushing us. It's forceful. We're being pushed out of this. So we're being like pushed to see some shit that some people may not be ready to see it though. You can find it on I'm going to give you the website. I use this one and I give this one to everyone. Seek AstroSeek. You can look up a bunch of shit on here also, anyway, but this is the one I use. It's free. And I mean, you could go and buy your chart. I don't like cafe astrology, you guys, just telling you. I don't like cafe astrology. So I go here. It's just the nature of the energy, especially if you don't have control over your mind. A lot of, especially dementia, sundowners, Alzheimer's patients, because they don't have that capability of control. That's why you have a lot of women who go into labor on a full moon, because the heightened energy, it's just very forceful, and you don't have that control. But a lot of people that don't have control over their mind will go crazy. It will hit you a certain way. But if you concentrate on using the energy in a way where it benefits you, you don't have to go crazy. That's why we're always, especially myself, I'm always looking at it like, what can I work on that's with this energy? Well, we know this is a fucking full moon in Libra. That's going to be big on balance, huge on balance. So how can you balance out your energy? Some people are highly strung, some people are low, some people need that pick me up. So how can you balance your energy in this full moon? How can you stay grounded in this full moon? Um, you said the scene better. Hey, Seraphine. So, but there's all this other stuff going on around the full moons as well. Yeah. I know most people just look at the sign, but there's so much more going on. I mean, yes, the full moon heightens the energy around you. Yeah. You may need to do that. Shadow work is a beast, though. Sometimes you got to take a break from the shadow work. Sometimes you got to just sit back and say, I got to take a break from this shit. So, yes, the full moons get crazy. Yes, the energy, especially with the solar eclipse or lunar eclipses. Um, but with the Libra energy, like I said, it is also karmic energy. So this full moon is probably going to be a little bit crazy, because of the energy that's just attached with it, and the way in the where's Saturn is stationed. For me, it's all about karma stuff. So I feel like if you want to do a karmic release, um, you should do some type of karmic release, let go this full moon. Set your intentions, that you don't want to or don't need to learn any of the same lessons again, right? It probably will. Not every full moon in Sag makes me crazy, right? Not every full moon in Virgo makes me crazy. Not every full moon in Gemini, which is my moon sign, that doesn't make me crazy, or like Virgo is my ascendant sign. It really depends on where the placement is and what you're going through. You got to kind of look at it from a total package. This moon could very well make you feel like shit. Depends on what you have in your energy. Or this moon could give you a lot of fucking energy and you're just bouncing off the walls and like you're happy as hell. Some of the full moons, I'm at my peak energy, I'm vibing, I'm chilling. And then there has been, like, I think we had a Gemini full moon that had me all fucked up. Like, that shit had me all fucked up and crazy. Like, what the fuck was going on? But it just depends. Not every Gemini full moon has me in my feelings or going all over the place. So for me, I feel like you got to look at it at the bigger picture of what's going on, the energy. And yes, it very well could hit you because you are Libra. It is in your sign. It's hitting home, that's hitting self, as well as everything else is pointing to self. So you're kind of getting that, like, double, triple hit into self. So you just have to kind of plan around it and look what's going on and see what's affecting you. How is it affecting you? And how can you build on it so it doesn't affect you in a negative way? If you're feeling depressed and sad, sit and meditate. Ask yourself, why am I sad right now? You will get the answers that you seek. The problem is we don't do that. We don't ask. We just kind of sit and just be like, oh, I fucking feel miserable. Okay, but why? Did you ask yourself why? Sit in meditation 5 minutes. I tell you, 5 minutes. Ask yourself why. Why do I feel like shit today? And the answers that you get, you don't want to believe that that's the answer, because it's like, this is ridiculous. This can't be the fucking answer. This can't be the fucking answer. There's no way that I could be depressed and mad off of this shit. Most likely you are. Okay. So instead of checking in with ourselves to ask, why do I feel like I'm about to lose my shit? Right? You're going to get the answers. The more and more you keep asking asking your higher self, should I say, you're going to get the answers. You just have to do that and say, okay, I got this. All right. You're holding your crystals good. And I would sit with my crystals and have that time. Let me ask, what am I feeling right now? What's going on? What do I need to release? It's going to come to you. The only time it doesn't come is when either you're not ready to hear the answer, okay, or you're not willing to hear the answer. It's the only time you're not going to get an answer. You're not willing or you're not ready. Your higher self knows. And you know when you're not ready to hear what you need to hear. So that's kind of the energy that's coming up right now. Huge, massive craziness with the planets. I haven't been looking. I've been kind of off on the astrology. So I'm glad that I looked right now just to kind of see the setup of the planets because it's pretty fucking awesome. Um, I am probably not going to do anything this weekend. Probably, I don't know. I don't know. I might not do shit. I might leave it be this weekend. There's a reason why it's coming up, though. Ask yourself, what have you not accepted from the situation? Or